apples.
Okay. Vidcon day 2.
You're so...
You sound so
tired. I'm so tired. How did we feel about Vidcon day 2?
Better. I wasn't, feverish or throwing up.
That's because you slept like till noon.
Did, but I felt better for it. So there we go. I managed to make the end of I only missed the first 15 minutes of Power of Words, which was good, but man, it was full. It was I think all the seats, all the sections of the seats were full, and there were people standing there. It was huge and full, and it was really good too. So good panel. Happy. The sexual orientation panel later was really good too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was.
I only got to go to race representation today because I waited in my line for freaking ever.
Okay, let's go numerically, and chronologically.
Okay.
First and foremost was the race and representation panel today. Since you were the one that got to sit through
oh my gosh.
the panel, you get to be the one to talk about it.
I don't know what to talk about. I mean, there was some really great YouTubers there. Honestly, I didn't know any of them. I'm not much for the comedy sketch YouTubers, and a lot of them, that's what they were. There was one that did fitness, and obviously I'm not much into fitness either. But they talked a lot about how, the minorities tend to be looked over quite a lot, and ways of, as a community, YouTube can help fix that. Not just the people who moderate it, but the YouTubers themselves. And I noticed a lot of this with all the panels is, not just, hey, like my stuff, but share other YouTubers, mention them in your videos, make references to them, share their links. Mm-hmm. Even if it's, not something you would normally watch, but, you found one or two videos interesting, pass it along because someone else might. They were, one of the funniest things they were talking about is, how there's apparently a YouTube fan fest in Toronto, and I didn't know that either. And the guy who's from Toronto, he's Indian, from India, mm-hmm. and he was saying that they had this huge poster in the middle of downtown for this, advertising it, and the YouTuber they picked was a really good YouTuber, but she wasn't even from Toronto. And he's like, there are so many good YouTubers from Toronto, not just him, but there are other, and why did it have to be necessarily she was a white woman, so why did it necessarily also have to be a white woman? Why not one of the colored women from YouTube that is from Toronto? That would work. There's
probably quite a lot of those as well.
Oh, yes. They talked about, too, the growing base of YouTubers doing bilingual videos where they talked about, they would do one video in English and then they do it in Spanish or whatever their native language was. One of them talked about how, he used to be very embarrassed about being Taiwanese and speaking to his mother, who only speaks Taiwanese, in front of his friends. But now he's more okay with himself and more okay with his culture that he likes sharing it and he puts it in his videos. That's basically all it was trying to, cut down stereotyping and how to spread it without hurting it.
Very cool.
I only got to see about 20 minutes, high hand, of the panel because I had my autograph time with Markiplier today at noon. Whee! And I was really excited and really nervous to get to go meet him, and so I was able to get lined up. I got there about probably 11:20, 11:25 or so, and I was already in the last line towards the end of the line by the time I got there. So I was kind of bummed out that, everyone had the same idea, I guess, as we did yesterday, which was get there early. And I really, like, I knew no matter what, like, I was going to get an autograph. I didn't care where I was at in the line until, well, it hit, I mean, he was already there when I got there. He was already starting on his autographs when I got there. And he was taking a lot of time with all the fans, which, you know, is great. I'm fine with that, because I would much more rather have to wait in line for hours and hours than... and get my autograph and have time with, you know, whoever I'm talking to, then have it be something where I'm in line for maybe 30 minutes to an hour, and then all I get is a hi, how are you, here's my signature, goodbye, you know, and those are, while they are nice because I can officially say, like, I have met them, it is not a
quality experience.
No, it's not a quality experience, and especially not when you know, are waiting in line for an hour or more. Like some of our other autographs, we've spent in line for a lot longer than an hour. The downside, really, to being in the line for that long was the people. And yeah, Amanda's got her own share on that experience. But as far as my experience went, there were the girls the fangirls who, you know, were like, oh, I'm gonna be the future